A perfect outcome to all things is assured. Yeah, a perfect outcome to all things is assured. Yeah, I'm getting stronger every day because my faith leads the way. A perfect outcome to all things is assured. In every situation, there's a blessing somewhere. Come gather, brothers and sisters, and we'll see that it is there. Ooh, I need you, you need me. Yes, you do. And that's how our happiness is guaranteed. Take it, boys.
And now, in all your doings, be you blessed. Through you is ushered in a world unseen, unheard, yet truly there. Holy are you, and in your light, the world reflects your holiness. For you are not alone and friendless. I give thanks for you and join your efforts on behalf of God, knowing that they are on my behalf as well, and for all those who walk to God with us.
Sing it with me. A perfect outcome to all things is assured. A perfect outcome to all things is assured. I'm getting stronger every day because my faith leads the way. A perfect outcome to all things is assured. A perfect outcome to all things, yeah, is assured.
Wee doggy!
How are all my wee doggies? And welcome back to the regularly scheduled programming.
Yeah.
I assume that we have all made it on the other side of 2022. It spit most of us back out, you know. In 2023, we went the whole round, you know. So
hey,
here's
hey Connie, hey Arizona, hey Sina, hey everybody that's listening on the radio.
We really appreciate you.
Sina says, I love planting the seeds of the message of that song in my heart. Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
We were singing I Am Beautiful.
I am bliss.
I am bliss, you know.
We were right before we came on the air, and it also does feel good to me, Sina, to know that a perfect outcome is assured in all things. And so we start off 2023 that way. Oh yeah, thank you, Sina. Yeah, my song too. I just want to share before we get going, like, you know, what joy we've had over the holiday season. We've missed you guys really terribly, terribly.
But we took this time away to work on ourselves, to improve our relationships.
We did.
We've
been working on ourselves and diving deeper and discovering
there is deeper.
That there is deeper.
I know, right? And you're not done.
And allowing each other to feel our feelings.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of hard sometimes when you're in a close relationship.
Yeah, we got down to some gratitude. What we do, what I can do for you is to provide space for your healing. Like, you're going to do the work, but let me create the atmosphere where it's like really easy, you know, and it's normal and it's not so crazy or wild. So I'm not second guessing myself. It's like sort of taking the precious nature out of, I'm here for your healing. Yeah, I'll watch you blow up or melt down or whatever you need me to like witness this for you. I'm not going anywhere. It's okay.
And that's
what a gift could you give? Like, it's like melt down already.
And so we did. We both had our meltdowns. Over the holidays.
Go our way. Each of us had a moment where what was happening was not what we had planned on, and we'd spoken about this early.
But it's all good. So I don't know. I think we reached something, a new sense of appreciation for each other and for you guys, because you guys really set the stage for us to heal with our own birth families and stuff like that. So, you know,
that's what I mean. Providing space for others, is what we can do. Is why we call this a practice community, where I practice. I practice. And you guys,
thank you, Cody. Yeah,
exactly. Thanks for practicing on me.
Yeah, and we just had such joy getting cards and stuff from people in the community. And
I know some of those gifts didn't last more than like 30 minutes.
We got a gift from our sister Connie, and we ate it like that.
After saying we weren't.
We got this big, beautiful baked good from Connie. She was so sweet, and we sat down and ate it all at once.
It didn't last.
So wonderful. So we've had a lot of love and a lot of joy. When I say that Awakening Together has set the stage for our own healing in terms of our birth families, it's really, really true. And then what we carried on into the holidays that we experienced all the way up into yesterday, and I hope this is a theme for the year, is that in every group of people, we were at a baby shower yesterday. One of our friends is pregnant, and neither of us have ever been to a baby shower, so we were kind of like, I know, right? It's so funny. We have never been to a baby shower.
You think with all the gay men I've hung around, I would have been to more baby showers.
But this was so fun and so exciting, and we were walking into really a group of people that we didn't know, other than just our friend who
we love the immediate family,
having the baby, so we walked into this room, and it took about 0 seconds for us to feel comfortable and to connect with other folks and to really feel the family love.
If you're here at this place, you're good, right? If you've made it into this room, you're good. We're not going to gatekeep anything, right? Everyone's already family.
And we already had, we have our own securities about being in groups of folks and stuff like that. We have, I see only the past, which is one of the lessons for today.
We should probably get to that. Let's do that.
So, our jam is A Course in Miracles, and
you're doing all the lessons this year, right?
we love starting the lessons.
So the first 50, we're gonna really pound away at the first 50, like for the first first 50.
Well, I would put it more gentle than that. We're not gonna pound away. We're gonna enjoy really soaking it in.
Perspective is everything.
Yeah. So if you started on January 1st, we're just gonna quickly read through lessons 1 through 8.
I encourage you to listen to Mr. Miracle. Read them to you online.
Yeah, you can go online, acim.org, and hear the lessons. It can be read to you
every morning.
But anyway, so just for review for all of you, I'm sure you all know, but lesson 1 is so cool. Nothing I see in this room, on this street, from this window, in this place, means anything. Nothing I see means anything. Lesson number 2. I have given everything I see in this room, on this street, from this window, in this place, all the meaning that it has for me. I have given everything I see all the meaning that it has for me. Lesson 3. I do not understand anything I see in this room, on this street, from this window, in this place. I do not understand anything I see.
We're writing a Talking Heads song.
Lesson 4. These thoughts do not mean anything. Yes.
Because
they are 5. They're like the things.
World.
Yeah, like
the world. They are like the things I see in this room, on this street, in this window, in this place, which is the chorus.
Yeah. These thoughts do not mean anything. And lesson 5, one of my favorites. I am never upset for the reason I think. Oh gosh, do y'all like that lesson? I am never upset.
I didn't like it for a long time.
Really gets
it's like oh man, we were talking about catching yourself. It's like, oh, do I want this feeling? These are the choices I asked for this. It was just really what I wanted. I've never upset for the reason I think it's like,
yes.
Oh,
thank you, Jacqueline, so much for that homily this morning.
Wow.
Okay, so hold on. We're going back to where were we? We were at the lessons. Oh, okay. I'm never upset for the reason I think. Okay, lesson 6 is I am upset because I see something that is not there.
Ooh.
Okay. Number 7 was yesterday.
This is yesterday.
I see only the past.
Which we were talking about is literally true. Once even the light bounces off that and goes from there before you can see it and understand, it's already the past. It's literal.
And so today is my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts.
No, because the world needs to be fixed and there's things that have gone wrong that they need to be corrected. Right.
This whole morning,
going to hold somebody accountable.
Right. So this whole morning with you guys and with Jacqueline and listening to all the other programs it's just been so spot on.
I know. We were hooting and hollering and wailing and crying the next minute.
And Jill, thank you for your lovely sharing this afternoon. It was really, really beautiful and just touched me so deeply. So with all of that to celebrate, let's do a sing-along.
Oh, Lordy, how many people have ever been to summer camp? Yeah, all right. That's good. Woo. Waking up there. Woo. Summer camp is fun. I love summer camp, because you sit around and you sing silly little songs, right? Sit around a campfire somewhere. Let things be exactly as they are. You can't change me, and you can't change God. So let things be exactly as they are. And you and me will live in peace. I don't know what anything is for unless I listen to that still small voice telling me this simple truth, that everything is for my good. So let things be exactly as they are. You can't change me, and you can't change God. So let things be exactly as they are, and you and me will live in peace. I'm not this body that you see. I am as God created me, and we are all one family, and it's possible to live in peace. So let things be exactly as they are. You can't change me, and you can't change God. So let things be exactly as they are. And you and me will live in peace. Let things be exactly as they are. You can't change me, and you can't change God. So let things be exactly as they are. And you and me will live in peace. Let things be exactly as they are. You can't change me, and you can't change God. So let things be peace. Kumbaya.
Right.
Well, one more thing I want to say about 2023 before we go into our lessons is that I like numerology. It just, I don't know. I just like how it works out. And so 2023 is a 7.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a high spiritual vibration number. So I'm looking forward to seeing this year, spiritual changes in myself, but also in the world around us. So when I change, my perspective, obviously, that out pictures in the world around us. So I'm just really happy, and I'm putting it out there as a spiritual aspiration to trust my brothers who are one with me.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, that's one of my favorite lessons in A Course in Miracles that I've been working with. But that's sort of my my thought for 2023, which has been talked about today already. But to trust my brothers that are one with me, and I mean that in every situation. We've started doing a prayer before we get into the car and drive. And I'm going to sing that prayer for you after the meditation here, but
to be mindful about what we're not taking this for granted, what we're doing and my attention and all of this for granted, to be engaged in this moment, to be engaged, purposeful, intentful.
It's been very cool. It's really helped our driving back and forth to Vermont, and how we deal with those that are not so peaceful on the road.
Right.
So
everybody doesn't drive as well as me. Shocking. Just shocking. And they should know better, and we'll get a dirty look if they don't do the right thing.
But that's not what we're doing anymore.
I know.
We're praying. We're doing this particular song that I'm going to sing. It's called Ad Gure Me. And so with that, let's go into our little bit of meditation and singing. So here we go. Yes, in this joyous circle of love, once again, with the prayer, Ad Gure Me.
Satguru Name, Sri Guru Deve Name.
I know.
Yay. Oh, I'm so glad you enjoyed it. That
Thanks for
always-
stopping us.
Thank you. Yeah, because I really, really wanted you to hear that, you know. And it just, such good vibes in that chant. It just feels so good. So thank you for sticking with us here.
And once again, the words mean...
Well, it's I bow to the infinite wisdom. So it's really about turning it all over to God.
What
You
is?
know?
What works?
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Oh, thank you,
Things that-
Sina.
oh, I
Thank
know.
you.
So
We are
Yep.
today.
I know. So this is the Course in Miracles starts out with talking about the first chapter is the meaning of miracles. She wants to talk to you about what is the nature of the world as it is. She talks about in the first chapter the reality that you just don't see. We don't see it. You know, so and in the end, chapter 31 is the practice that illuminates chapter 1. Isn't that the cool thing about A Course in Miracles? She ends with chapter 31, which is about how to create a practice, and she starts on chapter 1 to say what is reality, which is the nature of miracles. She says in one point in the first couple pages is if miracles aren't happening, you're not seeing correctly.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Because that's just the nature of things. That is how incredibly powerful you are, the incredibly powerful world that we live in, and the incredible resources and abundance that are at our disposal if we can only learn to see them.
Yeah.
The obstacles to love's awareness, the blocks to remove. We are in the business of the practice is removing the blocks to the awareness of love's presence, which is your natural inheritance. So it's like, this is already here, and I'm the problem, turns out. I'm the problem. I'm the one that's getting in the way of everything. This is actually really good news, because now I can do something about it. And then we talked about that this morning. It's like, oh, so you want me to take responsibility for my life and my attention and where I look and what I do and Yes. Yes, 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 yes. And like I was saying earlier today in the program, we were talking about like how if you can manage to be with where you are and who you are and what's happening, if you can manage to stick with it, just stick with the feeling, don't go anywhere. There's actually fruit at the end of that. There's a lesson. There's part of us she calls it like regained or remembered. The thing that the Course in Miracles uses a lot. This trauma is characterized as remembering who you are, right? That's a great journey. So the Course opens with, don't you want to live in the real world? Like a sell job, right? You show up at the dealership and you go, I don't know what body I want, I don't know what personality I want. She goes, look, this is the perfect thing for you, This is the real world. You totally got this. You got skills out the wazoo. And then for about 20 more chapters, she talks about the journey to get to the real world. And then she talks about the second half of Course in Miracles is about how how we give ourselves away in the world. What does the presence of love look like, giving it away, sharing unconditionally with the world? What does that look like in different kinds of settings, and how to build a practice about that? And the way that each chapter is built is that she first says, in the first paragraph, she says what the deal is. Sometimes it's 2 paragraphs, very rarely it's 3. It's usually the first paragraph in which she says the principle that she wants to talk about. And then she spends however many paragraphs after telling you why you won't do it. you know? And then at the end, she wraps it all up and gives you a pep talk and says, you can really do this. It's really cool to do this. You know, it's really cool, and you got this, and I'm on your side, right? If you got me, you got everything. So, you know, yeah, it looks you think this looks hard, but it's really not, because you got this. Okay.
So, for those that are sort of new to how we go with A Course in Miracles, Glen uses she a lot.
Oh.
And he means Helen, who was the scribe of A Course in Miracles.
It is confusing.
But we also think of God as more feminine than,
because the voice that likes me is more feminine than me.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how anybody else experiences that. That's just, you know, that's just me. That's why I say, you know, God, her, she. That's because I experience the oneness as more feminine than me.
Yeah.
So,
and
however,
so that's how our languaging. That's how our languaging. So when we're using she,
I will try to, you know, you know, she God, she Helen. It doesn't.
She doesn't.
I know it.
That way.
So if you can, the course tracks with the lessons. That's why the lessons are really cool. And the course, so you can read the course. So in the first week, we come across the atonement and miracles. It's like, what does the atonement or what does wholeness have to do with the state of reality? Well, that's the whole point, isn't it? To get to the place where there is just wholeness and oneness, and how miracles are related to that. So, read 12.8 pages a week, and you'll follow along.
You're so funny. I love that 0.8 pages.
I know.
Okay, so we are in chapter 1, and we're going to look at section 3. It's called Atonement and Miracles, and the first paragraph goes like this. We have highlighted a few things. Glen has.
First and second paragraphs, yeah.
Yeah, so it goes...
Read the underlined part, too.
Yeah,
so.
Okay, it goes like this. Starts this way. I am in charge of the process of atonement, which I undertook to begin. When you offer a miracle to any of my brothers, you do it to yourself and me. What were we just talking about?
Yeah, I know.
Trust my brothers.
I know. So this is, and Candy, this is so fun.
When you have been restored to the recognition of your original state, you naturally become part of the atonement yourself. As you share my unwillingness to accept error in yourself and others, you must join the great crusade to correct it. Listen to my voice, learn to undo error, and act to correct it. The ability is the potential. The achievement is its expression. And the atonement, which is the natural profession of the children of God, is the purpose. The natural profession of the children of God, Helen says. That's so cool.
You have a profession?
It's the atonement.
And the Great Crusade.
In the Great Crusade. You are the work of God, and his work is wholly lovable and wholly loving. This is how a man must think of himself in his heart, because this is what he is.
A man must think in his heart.
A human must think in his heart of themselves in their heart.
This is how you must think of yourself. Holy, loving, and wholly lovable. To walk around the world, and that's the vibe people get from you. She says, that's the Great Crusade. Then she says, that's the project. That's your job. The project is the recognition of your original state. Right? The recognition of your original state. And she calls this again natural. It's natural. You can already do it. We have to try not to do it. Right? Yeah. So the reminder is that the universe and being us and everything is actually really supported. That's the greasiest thing to do. That's supposed to be the easiest thing to do, is to be who you are, the child of God, connected with all that is, with and the power of, the now. The thing that she says, that's real. And she goes, miracles. These miracles, and she describes, is basically what we begin to understand is these miracles is what is mine to do. Oh my God, what is mine to do is like things just effortlessly, I'm in the flow. And things happen without me really trying, because we're working with what is. And the way we kind of get to that place, and she gives this method, is to keep coming back to ask me, ask me, ask me, ask me, ask me. Right? So the experiment becomes trusting and failing, and then trying again, and then learning and building your trust in this voice that like you, in the trust in the real world. If I say that the world is like this, you can prove that it's true. And you can act on what is true because I'm saying it and it's true, so you can rely on it, even if you don't believe it, because as we know, your belief and your understanding is really not a powerful contribution to the truth. It doesn't contribute anything. What is real without our wanting it or desiring it or anything. It stands on its own because it is who we are. It is the authentic expression of God. Try and fail again to become, to be, to allow expressed your authentic expression of God. That's the purpose of the atonement in many forms, like the first letter, in many forms, in many ways.
Yeah.
There is no difference between us and anything living. There is no difference. There's no difference between gods and animals and plants and others in this, because it says right there, you are the work of God. You are the work of God. What is living is the work of God. It's so there's I can relax. It's like, I don't have to try. It's like, I have to try so hard.
Right.
Maybe.
Right.
You could relax into, okay, what is mine to do? What's the joy in that? And then highlight in paragraph 3, I only highlighted one sentence.
The forgiven are the means of the atonement.
Okay, that's really method, right? That's method. So you want to experience the atonement. You want to be with all beings. You want whole. You want to experience this wholeness and truth, and to live in the real world. Yes, I want to live in the real world. I opened the Course in Miracles because I didn't like the way the world is my experience of the world, right? So you open up the Course in Miracles, and she goes, this is how it works. And she says, I want that world. I want the world where it's reliable, right? Where they're telling the truth. And she says, the forgiven are the means for the atonement. The means matching ends. What do you do to reach the atonement with everything it means you have to forgive? And she gives you a method in this paragraph. She gives you a method. She goes, the way it works, there's lots of ways to do this, but you have to forgive God, forgive yourself, forgive the world, and then you can forgive others. Forgive God, the first. Forgive yourself. Forgive the world, right, for not being the way it's supposed to be. Forgive yourself for not knowing how to do what you're supposed to do in the world. These are all stories, right? And forgive God for being, for not giving you a more auspicious birth. I don't know. That's where I go. So, and that attitude, that forgiven is the means of atonement, that attitude, that way of being in the world is how we forgive others. And we don't require other people to be saddled with our happiness. So the only way out of this crazy world that we've lived in that doesn't work, and we're trying to force it into some box that certainly does work or is supposed to work, or this magazine said it should work. The only way out is to follow what is true. And the only way we find out what is true is to find out what isn't often and fail, right? And to get it wrong. And suffer your own feelings, and get and learn and do. And this is how we understand that we can release all of God's creations, because that's what everybody's doing. Let things be exactly as they are. Let this person have their journey. Let this thing play out as it is. This yours to do? That's always the purview. What's my intent? Is this mine to do? What do I have endless energy for? Should I do this? Is every little thing. We are an expression of God's love on earth. Are we? Always and forever, yes. And she's going to go into that. And it's the canniness of what the lesson today is kind of funny. So, but we'll get to that. The miracle is the way the minds of man, the minds of the living actually work together. The Holy Spirit is working together in the minds of what is living for our, for our enfoldment, for our benefit, for our lesson. The world is the body. So this becomes a joint project. We're responsible for what ours is to do, but we're doing it as a part of the oneness. Right. So ours to do actually liberates others. Like Carolyn, it's like we're in the flow, we're in the network, we do what is ours to do because it's ours to do, not for reward, and the whole thing starts to really ripple and connect. Right?
Yeah.
I know you've seen this. So read the 4.
Yeah, I'm just reminded when you said that of the quote, from Marianne Williamson, which, says, when you liberate yourself from your fears, you automatically liberate others. And
this is she's going to continue with this thing. You have a role.
So in the next paragraph, it says, "You have a role in the atonement, which I will dictate to you. Mm-hmm. Ask me which miracles you should perform. This spares you needless effort because you will be acting under direct communication." Mm-hmm. And this next line it took me a minute to. It says the impersonal nature of the miracle is an essential ingredient. Right. The impersonal nature of the miracle.
And we talked a lot about this on Wednesday, right? So you have a role in the atonement, right? You're necessary, right? Because you're a part of. You can't take anybody out of God and still get God. Right? Can't take anything living out of God and still get God. So you have a role. You're necessary. We're all necessary. The people that you don't like and your frenemy is necessary as well. So this is where she introduces the guide, right? And so that's why today's image in your head is a Sherpa, somebody who knows the lay of the land and the territory that you can trust, right? That's the voice. She introduces the guide. There's a guide that you have been given if you will trust. You have invented a guide called the ego. Okay. And the ego says, I know what to do, but it really rarely works out if you examine it, which is what leads us to try something different. The ego said, the guide says, just ask me and evaluate what happens when you do follow your own inner nature, follow your own calling, follow the truth. What she says early in the previous paragraph. The guide says, just ask me. You decide. I don't have to convince you. Just ask, and you can always decide. And that's when she introduces the idea of the impersonal nature of the atonement. The impersonal nature goes, I don't have to know everything and everybody that they did good or deserve my be a part of the atonement with me. I don't. This is like let go of gatekeeping on oneness. The impersonal nature of the atonement. Everybody's here, and this leads to. And she says, this is the promise. If you can make the nature of the atonement impersonal, the nature of the miracle impersonal, that you just do what you're told. You like I once was there's a gal. Gets cat food from the deli, and they sometimes give her a lot of grief because she doesn't pay off her bill fast enough. She runs up credit, and it kind of gets bill because she pays for the cats at Nora for the building. And when it gets really bad, I'll sometimes pay the cat food bill, at the little deli, because I get the prompt. I hear the arguing and stuff like that, or the problems that it's caused, and I'll just do it, not because I do it all the time, but it's like if you're being told or you ask and you hear the voice that says, "Oh, you could," then then maybe act on it and see if that's you build that muscle, you do that skills development thing, and when it really matters, making hierarchies of miracles, but levels of miracles, but it becomes so natural that. And I have found that I become so much more in the flow that the rewards and she goes, I'll make it easy for you. She promises that this will be easy. Listen to me and it'll be easy. I'll save you time. She says this over and over time. And we're like, no, the scenic route for me. No. Really uncomfortable anxiety. I'd like a few more years of that. You know? I don't know.
I'm going to let it go.
I'm going to let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go. Let it all go. So she says, this attitude of not differentiating who deserves miracles from you or your attention or what you're supposed to do, not differentiating it all, actually leads to personal experiences of revelation of like what you're supposed to do and increasing your truths and your skill level of being able to know what's happening, being able to make good choices because you're so present. You're so deeply, deeply present that you can't be fooled. Right? Should we the next bit, little prayer?
Okay. You are free to establish your kingdom where you see fit.
Ta-da.
But the right choice is inevitable if you remember
this.
And she has a little prayer. Spirit is in a state of grace forever. Your reality is only spirit. Therefore, you are in a state of grace forever.
Okay. One of the first things we do when we say, is we think what we're supposed to do is like, oh, well, then I have to leave. I can't do what I want. I can't be myself, right? You get the calling. I've said this a lot, and it's no longer true. But it's like I can't follow God or spirituality. I'll have to dress funny, and I'll have to learn a different language. You know, that's
not true.
It's never true. The Course says it right there. You are free to establish your kingdom where you see fit, because there isn't anything, any place or what to do. And if it's yours to do, God is there.
Yeah.
You know. The where and the how and the who and what it looks like is really, really up to you. That's the artwork. You're free to establish your kingdom anywhere you see fit. But you'll make the best choices if you understand that reality and what's going to be satisfying is what you'll build, not physical things. And the physical things will take care of themselves because they have no choice but to reflect the manifestations that we're asking for. Do you see? That's the real world. That's how it works. Establish your kingdom. Become that state of grace, because spirit is reality. You are in a state of grace forever.
And guess what Jill's last name is? Grace! Yay!
State of grace. So
we're all
right,
like Jill. We're all in a state of grace. Yeah, we're gonna
writing this. So
yeah.
Read this bit.
Okay, atonement undoes all errors in this respect, and thus uproots the source of fear. Whenever you experience God's reassurances as threat, it is always because you are defending misplaced or misdirected loyalty.
Why you won't do something? Because you're loyal to something else. Why you won't do something or head in this direction? Because you don't think it's going to give you the results. That's what she's talking about. Examine your loyalty. This is the practice of uprooting and examining where you place your attention. And the warning is here when we project onto others, when we require certain behavior and things on others, we are imprisoning them. And when we do that to ourselves, we are imprisoning ourselves. So she introduces again a very popular metaphor in the Course of Miracles is putting yourself in prison and putting others in prison. Projecting onto others is imprisoning them. Projecting, and it contributes to ours and theirs and the suffering of the world, because it acted on so it becomes more believable. So the ask is to not project onto others and to let others unfold in their path, consulting me with what is yours to do, to bless the world, to bless others. It isn't your job, it isn't our job to manage everyone and everything and make sure that everything is tied down, and correctly done. Bless them. Trust that God has a plan. And this has been kind of difficult to me. Just trust that God has a plan. If it isn't yours to do, God has a plan for it, and it's taken care of. So read the next bit.
Trust my brothers who are one with me. Okay, we've only got 5 minutes left.
I
So
know.
why don't we move on down to the end so that you can really talk
Just
about
read
it.
read the bit.
Okay, so the last thing we're going to share with you is the last chapter in this paragraph. Paragraph 10. It says miracles are selective only in the sense that they are directed toward those who can use them for themselves. Since this makes it inevitable that they will extend them to others, a strong chain of atonement is welded. However, this selectivity takes no account of the magnitude of the miracle itself, because the concept of size exists on a plane that is itself unreal. Since the miracle aims at restoring the awareness of reality, it would not be useful if it were bound by laws that govern the error it claims to correct.
This again, looking outside. So she says this with this. She introduces a term before this that I kind of like. She calls it a miracle network.
Oh yeah.
That there's inside all living beings, when you participate with what is, you are connected to a network of miracles. So I was having fun with this and was like, I can align with the part that I trust in my brothers. I can align with the underground miracle worker network. So I'm going to call upon the say, oh, you don't get it. You're being mad. I'm the object of this. I get it. You're just in the underground miracle network. So just restoring the awareness of reality, and so that's what the project is. And remember that there is no hierarchy in miracles. That's why they're impersonal. That's why we can give them to anyone and everything and in all situations. So I'm your favorite anarchist preacher, and we're really glad you're here for the Mighty Companions Hour with the love of my life, the Reverend Yolanda.
Oh, cheers, honey. And cheers to everyone. Happy New Year.
I know. Happy New Year. Glad you're back.
Happy New Year. So wonderful. And Jacqueline, hey. So nice to see you, and thank you so much for that homily this morning. Wow. We've just been resonating all day. We've only got 3 minutes. I'm just going to do a little something here. Called just a little bit of my song Love Divine, because I just feel like, starting the new year off with love. And Jill says, thank you, Yolanda and Glen. Thank you, Jill. Thank you so much for being here. So... Although I speak with tongues of men and angels, and though I prophesy and understand the world, and though I have all faith to say to mountains you must go away, but have not love, and though I feed the poor and give of my life, if love has no place in me, then what am I? If I do not have charity, if love does not flow from me, then what is life? Love divine, love divine. Love is patient, love is kind, and love is wise. Love can never come from a jealous mind. It's never proud, but gentle, meek. Resistance is not what it seeks. It sets the mind at peace. And love's the one that sings when the truth prevails. Love believes in good when
when it looks like hell, and love's the one that bears the wrong. Love's the one that's always strong and never fails. And when I was a child, I acted as a child, and now I can heal myself from those times. The looking glass no longer dark, I see the light that's shining there within my heart. Love divine, love divine, love divine. And when I was a child, I acted as a child, and now I can heal myself from those times. The looking glass no longer dark, I see the light that's shining there within my heart. Love divine, love divine, love divine. Thank you, everybody. We'll see
Glad
you
you're
next
here.
time.